you how to use Jenkins and container. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern, so you're free to join the live chat and post anything about programming or lifestyle topics. As you can see, I do have a direct link to this live stream. You can watch the video. The video is also embedded in the article. You can watch it below. I'd also like to let you know that you can subscribe. I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed so far this month. You can also like and leave comments. It's helped the channel grow, and I've actually had my biggest jump in subscribers just this month. The month is not even over yet, so I'd like to thank everybody for that. Just keep it up because it helps people find this channel, and it helps them improve their programming skills or know about open source software that they didn't know about. There's a lot of really good open source software. That's the focus of this channel. Okay, back to the tutorial. For example, one of those open source software we're going to talk about today is Jenkins. So Jenkins is a continuous integration or continuous development automation tool. I'm going to introduce it, and because today is normally when I do something about Git, so we're not going to focus on the other automation that Jenkins has. We're going to focus on Git because that's what I've been doing for over a year. Usually at this time of the week I focus on something Git related, so I'm going to make it Git related as well. Okay, so as I said before, Jenkins is a powerful open source automation server that enables developers to automate various tasks in their software development lifecycle. Whether you're looking to set up continuous integration, that's CI, or automate your deployment pipeline, Jenkins makes the process easy and efficient. In this blog post, and obviously this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the basics of Jenkins, its open source software nature, and how you can quickly get up and running. Use Podman, which is a containerized tool similar to Docker. So don't worry about it. If you're using Docker, you can everything I do here is a drop-in replacement, meaning that instead of when I type Podman, you can simply type Docker. When I type Podman -compose, you can just type Docker compose. So everything is you can use Docker in place. The reason I use Podman is because Podman is rootless, meaning that I don't have to have root or super user permissions, and also because it's for a single user. That makes it more easy than Docker, because Docker might have sometimes you need to ask for root or user or super user permissions. With Podman you don't have to. Okay, so Jenkins is widely used in DevOps to automate tasks, like for example for testing, for building and deploying software. So as you see, that all makes sense when I use the Git example, you should see. So because it's open source, Jenkins has a large and active community, making it easy to find resources and support. It integrates with a wide variety of plugins. So we're going to do the Git plugin as well. I'll show you how to install that, and making it highly customizable and adaptable for different workflows. So the plugin is very important. We'll come back to that again. It supports multiple languages, environments, and builds, distributed builds and scalability. So I already explained what Podman is. It works similar to Docker, and it doesn't require a central daemon, making it ideal for running containers without a root process. I already explained that. Here I'll show you how to install Jenkins using Podman and Podman Compose. So what is the difference between Podman and Podman Compose? So Podman is the command line tool that you use you can build containers, and even making your own images. But what happens is you notice that if you do use Podman, is that you have to you might have multiple commands. So what Podman Compose does is that you take a YAML file, and you can put all those commands, or you can tell it what to do, like it will be step 1, step 2, step 3. That's what it does. There's also the container file, but in this particular tutorial it's really simple because I'm using official image, so I don't need to have a container file. But in previous tutorials and probably future ones, you guys will see me using a container file. Now, if I'm on Linux, so the way I installed Podman is if I'm on I'm on a Fedora system, but if you're on a Debian system, it's apt to install Podman. For me, because I'm a Fedora, which is a Red Hat from Red Hat family, it's DNF install Podman. Obviously, depending on your distro, you can install it. Usually, it's in the it's in the distro's repository. If you're on a Mac, you can use Brew. Brew, as we found out last time as well, Brew is cross-platform. It's for Mac and Linux. They used to have a build for Windows. I don't know what happened to that one, but if you do, for Windows, I do. For Windows, just follow the instructions from the official site. Now, to run Jenkins, as I said, you can, as I just said, if you just want to use pure Podman, you can just pull the image. You see Jenkins, the long-term support release, and then you can run it. See, that's 2 commands. That's why I said the Podman Compose comes in handy. And then you can access it from port 8080. And if you want to retrieve the password, you just type Podman logs Jenkins, and it will show the password there, and then that's how you can retrieve it and you can run it. And I said I'm going to use Podman Compose, and so instead of running all these commands here, I can simply just put everything in a YAML file, and you see it says here the image. It will just pull it automatically. You create a container for me. It will expose the ports and then the volumes if I want to have it like I have a cache or something for future, and then I've restart and then stopped, and that's it. So you see, it's much more easy. Now I have to, the only command I have to do is podman-compose space up space -d. That's it. So I'll show you I'm going to use Podman Compose. So here's the Podman YAML file. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see it better. So as you can see, it's version 3 I'm using, and then you see I create a service, Jenkins. I call it Jenkins, and the image we're going to use is Jenkins/Jenkins LTS. The container name, you can call it anything you want. I just call it Jenkins. The port I'm going to expose is 8080 because I'm not using 8080 on the host machine, so I'm going to map it to 8080 inside the container. And the other one we want is 50,000, which I map it also to 50,000 in the container, because on my host machine, that's the local machine I'm using, or the laptop, anything, or a server, I'm not using those ports for anything else. Now you might say, no, that's not true, Edward. I've seen you use port 8080 in that. Yes, but I'm saying I'm not running those applications right now. So for this tutorial, I'm okay with this 8080. And the volumes, you see here it says Jenkins home, so it's going to map it to /var/Jenkins_home, and then restart. I already explained, and I stopped. That means that if something goes wrong, it can restart or try to restart instead of bringing it down. And then the volumes is just Jenkins home. That's it. We're done. That's literally it. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. So I'm actually going to get rid of it. We're gonna go to the command line here. I'm going to use the console. The reason I like using the console as opposed to the terminal is because the console I can dynamically scale the font without the application getting bigger. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit so you can see exactly. I recently deleted everything, so this might build from scratch. Oh, oops. Oh, that should be clear. There we go. So Podman-compose. So Podman is smart enough, whether you call this a Docker compose or YAML, it is smart enough, it will pick it up. So all you have to do is Podman-compose space up. That is good enough, but if you do that, what it will do is it will show the logs of everything going on. So we don't want it, we want to detach it. So that's what the -d is for. And you see, obviously I ran this before, so it grabbed it from the cache. Now if I type Podman space ps-a, you can see it tells me right here that it tells me it has been it grabbed it from Docker IO, and it's been up for, it was created 13 seconds ago. It's been up for 30 seconds. You see it maps port 8080 to port 80 inside the container, and 50,000 to 50,000 inside the container. And you see when you see 000000000, that means that I can access this from anywhere, meaning I can access it on my phone, on another laptop, anything on the same network. So I can use the IP for this workstation to grab it. If this was on a live server, I would be able to do the same thing, grabbing it. I mean, I can just use that host name or that IP address as well. But in this case, I'm just going to use 127.0.0.1. But I said you can use the IP address of your machine. So now what I do need is I need a web browser. So I'm gonna use Chromium. I'm gonna open up Chromium. Oh, I already have Chromium open here. Let me just check. By the way, I'm doing a live stream on 4 platforms at the same time. So I'm doing YouTube. I am doing that's weird. I'm doing what am I doing? I'm doing Odyssey. I'm doing Rumble. Looks like something is weird going on with what do you call this? So let me check Rumble. Looks like I need to refresh the page for Rumble. Okay, I want to play an ad. Okay, I can't skip the ad. So give me a second. Skip ad. Oh, there's another ad. Come on, guys, please. Okay, let's try BitChute. Hopefully there's not an ad as well. Does it actually play? Nothing. I don't see anything yet. I don't know if there's a delay or something. Okay, there we go. So Rumble is working. Wow. I mean, BitChute is working. Rumble. Is Rumble working? Okay, looks like Rumble is working. I don't know what's going on here with. Well, okay, Odyssey seems to be messed up. I'm hoping it's working. Okay, Odyssey seems to be messed up. Okay, so hopefully it's working. I'm recording, so that should be okay. And obviously YouTube is working. Let me actually copy this and see if I can actually get rid of that. Okay, I got rid of it. Let me try one more time for Odyssey. Hopefully this works. Okay. All right, it did work. I just have to refresh that page. Okay, perfect. All right, so back here, let me turn off one of the screens. Unfortunately, because I'm using GNOME Wayland, OBS doesn't have a what do you call it? OBS doesn't have the browser docs. They don't work properly in Wayland, so it's actually because of something with ironically with the Chromium browser. Oh, what happened there? Colon 8080. Oh, because I put HTTPS. That's I need HTTPS. There we go. What is going on here? Why is it redirecting to HTTPS? Okay, colon 8080. Okay, I don't know why it wants to keep on. It keeps on redirecting to HTTPS, even though. Okay, maybe let me type in HTTP colon 127.0.0.1 colon 8080. Yeah, it keeps on redirecting. So I'm gonna I'll just use localhost. It's because I think there's a cache from when I did the localhost. Yeah, there's a cache when I did. What did I do? I did an application. Oh yeah, the one I did yesterday. It was redirecting, so I think it's still being cached. So I'm going to try localhost here. It should be fine. Local. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did it redirect as well? Oh man, it keeps on redirecting. Okay, so I don't know why it keeps on redirecting for everything. That's not what I want. I might be forced to use a different browser. You know what? Since it's being a pain, I'll just use a different browser here. I'll drag this browser here. There we go. Okay, so let's hope this works. So I'll try again. HTTP colon / 127.0.0.1 colon 8080. There we go. All right. So yeah, sorry about that. All right. So you see, it says that you can get the password So you need to unlock Jenkins, you need to get the password. So normally, if I installed this on just on the host system directly, you just go to the /var/Jenkins_home/secrets initial admin password. However, because I installed this on installed this using Podman. So what I need to do is, in order to get the initial password, what I need to do is I need to go to the command line, and so I can copy this, and then I have to enter the password in here. So I'll show you how to do that. So if you remember, I do have let me actually zoom out even more. So yes, it's much better. So you see, the container name is actually called right here Jenkins. You see that? It says Jenkins here. Let me zoom in. So it's called Jenkins. It's the last one here. So what I need to do is I need to enter that container, and then I can use a program like cat just to cut it out. But I can do a one-liner, and that's what I'm going to do here. So all you do is you type podman space execute, of course, exe space Jenkins. Okay, then I'm going to use the cat command. Cat just outputs anything. So, and then obviously I can simply just copy this here, copy that, and paste it. You see, then it gives me the initial password. So all I do is just copy that, and then I paste it in here, and continue. And boom, there we go. Now, so it gives me two options. I can install the suggested plugins, or I can install specific plugins. So just for this tutorial, even though I'm not going to use all of them, I'm just going to install the suggested plugins. And you can see here, so it's going to install the folders, timestamper, pipeline, Git. So actually the Git is the one I want, so I'm okay with that. And email extension, I mean, for this tutorial, I'm not going to use email. And the others, like for example, the OWASP markup formatter, workspace cleanup, GitHub branch. So I'm not gonna. So you can also use it to grab some something from GitHub. I believe I do have a GitHub repository, an empty one. So maybe I'll grab that one as well to show you how that works. You can use SSH build agents. You can use the mailer, build timeout, and is I recognize that one. That's for Java builds. And then there's a pipeline, GitHub, Groovy libraries, matrix, authorization strategy, dark theme, credentials, binding, Grado's. That's actually, I recognize that one as well. That's the preferred one for Android development, if especially using Android Studio, and the pipeline graph view, and then the I think it was LLAP or D. Okay, so here it asks you to create your first admin. So I'm just going to type Edward here. Oh, sorry, it says username. I'll use admin. And then I'll type in the password here. Confirm the password. And then the full name. I just said Edward or Jumbo. Email address, I'll use the same email address we always use. Don't use this email address. It's just a local one for testing and stuff. So then it says you can skip and continue as admin. So that's up to you. So I'll save and continue. Then you see it detected this, so it's going to use this URL. That's fine. And I said before, if this was on a real server, if I had a specific subdomain or domain or subdomain, I could use that. But this is just for localhost, so that's perfectly fine. So you can also say not now or save and finish. I'll mention I can start using Jenkins. Okay, so now, so as you can see here, you can set up an agent. You can, what else can you do? You can set up configure a cloud. There are a lot of things you can do. You can also create a job. We can actually do that as well. But I'm saying is, for this particular tutorial, as I said, I don't want to. It's already been 20 minutes, so I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. So I'll just go a quick overview, and then I'll show you build something. Don't worry, we'll actually get it to build something for us. So As you can see here, there are a lot of things. You can go to my views, you can go to my account, you can go to the appearance, preferences. So appearance, obviously right now it's using the light theme. We can choose the dark theme and hit a save or apply, and there's other options. So I'll hit save for that. So now it's using the dark theme. And then of course there's preferences. There's really pretty sparse right now. There's really nothing for views, but if you can change your views you want there. And then what's the other one here? Security. Security, you can use API tokens, which are pretty good. There's none right now configured. I'm just using the password. And then there's experiments. You can enable some features like the build page, all that stuff there if you wish. And then of course there's credentials. So you can see, you can as you can see, there's the system, and then the scope to specific users and credentials and all that. So so that's what was that one. So we went through all that, and then this one is you can manage Jenkins as well. So here you can see you can configure the system, the global paths. So I just clicked on that. You can see here it's /var Jenkins _home. Remember that we set that up in our Podman container. You can change that. The URL, this is where you change it. And then the access keys. If you're obviously using proxies, you can set that up. Timestamper, if you remember, fingerprints, or all that good stuff. And the GitHub, if you're, most people do use, a lot of people use GitHub, so you can set up the GitHub servers and APIs, enterprise trusted pipeline libraries. You can do all that stuff here. And obviously you can configure tools here. JDK, that's obviously for Java development. Oh, I forget what the K stands for. I haven't used it. And the Git installation. So Git, the path to Git, I'm on Linux. So I mean, even the Podman. So it's pretty obviously Git is already built in, so you don't have to do anything else. But if you want to install other stuff, you can add those here. Gradle, you can add Gradle and Maven. Okay, so let's go back here, and plugins, very important. So you can update plugins, there's available plugins, install. Let's go to install plugins. Remember, install plugins. You see this Apache Ant is enabled, and let's see what else is here. I believe we had Git as well. FGGGG, yeah, here, Git. See the Git plugin. It's not enabled. Man, this color is really hard to see. I might have to switch. Oh yeah, so you can they say this plugin integrates Git with Jenkins, so you can click on that one, and you see 100% health score, so you can check that out. And this is GitHub stuff. They're all there for you. So if you want to use them. And you see there's a lot more. So these are the ones that were, I believe, were installed or available. I can't remember. Yeah, this dark theme is not, you know what, I think I might switch back. I'll switch back to the light theme. That one is not so, I think it needs a little bit of work. So I'll hit save, because that actually reminds me of a tutorial I did recently about some of the, I don't want to say terrible, but impossible sites. So where was I here? I think I was in available. Oh no, I went to install plugins. Okay, this is much better, much easier to see. So yeah, so as I was saying is that, for example, if I type Git here, yeah, so the Git branch source plugin, that's been installed and enabled. Oh, okay, I get it. So yeah, this is why it was confusing me. So when you see this allows me to uncheck it, I guess, to disable it. But because the Git plugin itself was one of the, remember the what is it? I guess the essential plugins, or when we first installed, where it said the most popular plugins or whatever that is during the installation program. So that is obviously on here, and it doesn't allow me to actually remove it. See, it cannot be uninstalled. That's perfectly fine, as long as the Git, and the Git client is also there. That's important for what I want to show you guys later. And then you can go to advanced settings, as you can see here. how you can also put your deploy plugin. So this could probably just be a script or something as well. And how to update the site. So I'm saying there's quite a few things there's quite a bit you can do with Jenkins. I said there's a lot of tutorials. You guys want me to go through some of this later, let me know. But I said usually when I build stuff, I just build it right in an IDE. I don't use something like this, and I have my own scripts when I use like Git hooks, post receive, and also sometimes I do use some pre hooks as well. Okay, so there we go. That's that one. Let's go back to manage here, and of course you have nodes as well. I have never used nodes, so I don't know what these do. So I'm just being honest with you guys. And then there's clouds, obviously. You guys, if you know me, I'm not going to use that one. And then we already did appearance. And there's a dark system. Maybe I should have tried that one instead. Okay. And then we went through this as well. So you guys saw this, the users. Let's go to users quickly. So there's only one user right now, the admin, the one I created. And then the security, who has access to this and that. I believe it's the same thing as before. Yeah, it's the same thing as before, the markdown stuff. And I'm just trying to see system information. Okay, let's check out system. Yeah, see, here's the system information. If you see WAW, that's always something to do with Java. So obviously Jenkins, you see a lot of Java stuff, Jetty, and is this Sun? Wow, that takes me back. Yeah, and what else do we have here? I'm just trying to find some. This is system log. As you can see, obviously nothing has been done yet. And what else can I show you here? Is manage all data. There's no all data because this just started. This about Jenkins, as you can see. It's version 2.528.1. That's the latest version. And you can see it uses a lot of other dependencies as well. And you can see all their licenses. They're all open source licenses, as you can see here. And some of these licenses, actually, I think all these licenses, I haven't done the Creative Commons licenses yet, but I have dedicated tutorials where I explain, for example, MIT license, the Apache license, I don't know if they have any GNU licenses here. Yeah, the GNU licenses here. So I've done tutorials on those. All right, let's go back here. Is anything else here? Reload configuration disk, script console. You can see you can also do that as well. That could be for Groovy. So that you guys get the point. So okay. So let's actually build something. So what I want to do is I want to create a repository. So there's a couple ways of doing that, but I said I don't want what I'm pulling in from say GitHub. The one I want is my own repository, and I want Jenkins to create it for me. So I'll show you how we do that. So what you do is you go to new item in the dashboard. So to get to the dashboard, anytime as you saw me, you just click on Jenkins there, and then you click new item. So in the new item, I'm just going to call it my Git repo. Okay, and then it asks me what type. You see, there's a freestyle. And you guys can read that. I'm not going to even. I'll read that one for you later. There's pipeline. There's multi-configuration project. There's a folder. There's a multi-branch pipeline, and there's an organization folder. So the one I want for today's tutorial is this one, the freestyle project. It says it's a classic general purpose job type that checks out from up to 1 SCM. SCM stands for source code management. Executes build steps serially, followed by post build steps like archiving artifacts and sending email notifications. So that one is perfect for what I want to do. So I'm going to click the freestyle project. Click OK. By the way, I gotta say something I really like about Jenkins. Jenkins is probably one of the rare applications that is actually responsive, meaning that sometimes when I try to make this easy for people who are on the vertical screens, basically horizontal instead of landscape mode, yeah, this one is really nice. I don't have to stretch, things don't go over landscape mode. So when we come here, And the configure pane, you see there's general, source code, memory, triggers, environment, build steps, and post build actions. So the one I want to pick is simply build steps. Okay, so what I want is build steps. You see, I clicked on build steps here. So as you can see, there's nothing really special. Everything is all on the same page, right? It's just a page jump. So I want a build step. You see, it says automate your build process with order tasks like code completion, testing, and deployment. So this is exactly what I want to create a Git repository. So what I do is I'm going to add a build step. So I click build step, and then it says execute Windows batch command. I'm not on Windows. As I said, it's running on Linux. You can execute a shell. You can invoke Gradle script, top level Maven targets, run with a timeout, set build status depending on GitHub commit. So we're not doing GitHub stuff here. So I'm gonna click on, obviously, execute shell. Okay, so then I can type my commands in here, and so I'm going to type all my commands in here. So I'm going to type it. So what I'm going to type here is I'm going to say create a folder for the new repository. Okay, so that in case when you see the hash, that means it's obviously a comment. And then here I'll put make dir mkdir. That means in bash it makes make a folder. Then space -p. -p means that if it exists, it's not going to it will just ignore it. Or another way is it will if it doesn't exist, it will create it. So let me explain. So normally when you use it and you say something like Edward, right? So it will create Edward. Now the problem is, let's say I type Edward repo. If Edward doesn't exist, it's going to fail. It's going to give a warning. The -p will allow it, meaning that if Edward doesn't exist, it will create the Edward folder. That's why we use -p. So I'll put -p here, space. We're going to go to our var folder. So it's /var/Jenkins home, which already exists because that was created, as you saw in our YAML file. And then git -repos. This doesn't exist yet, but it's going to create it. It's going to create it for us, and then it will create my -new repo.git. Okay, so it will do that. That's our build. That's our build part of our build command. Then after that, I want to create a actual Git repository. So then I'm going to initialize. If I can spell, is that how you spell initialize? I think there's an I in here. Yeah, initialize. I'm writing another command, initialize the empty Git repo. Okay, and then I'll just cd into it, cd/var/Jenkins_home/git-repos/ obviously I could have done all this literally on one command line. There's one way I could do all this in one command could do all this, but I'm just doing the hard way because some of you guys are still learning. So it's my new repo for new -repo.git. Then I type git space init space --bear. So what this is going to do is going to create just an empty repository for us. Okay, so that's it. And then I don't need to click on advanced or anything. All I need to do is just hit on save. Okay, so that's it. So you see now what will happen is I can click on build now, and it will build our project. It will build my. It doesn't exist yet because I haven't built it yet. So I can click on build now. So I'll click on build now, and you see it says build has been scheduled. Okay, and you see today. I don't know where that. Okay, I guess I should have looked at the time. Um, that is weird. So we can look at the console output. We can look at we can also delete it, or we can look at the changes and console output. So what I'm going to do is I can go back to Jenkins here, and you can see that you see in this our queue build executor status. So you can see that it says latch success is 28 seconds. Obviously it takes a few seconds. So, and it says the duration was 65 what do you call it, milliseconds. Sorry about. And you can also schedule a build for my you can also schedule a build for it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this. I'm going to check the status here. Obviously looks like it was built properly. So let's go to build history, and you can see here this was the build. We can actually go look at the changes, or we can look at here we go. So this is the console output. I showed you. I could have done it there, but I just want to show you. Maybe you have something that you set it to build at a certain time or automate it. So you can see what it did here. It said started by user Erodo Jumbo, running in system, and you can read all this stuff here. So it was able to you see automatically it created, I guess, a temporary script to be run, and you see it's exactly what it did. So first thing it did, it created this folder, my-new-repo.git. Then it cd'd into that folder. Then it created a git initialization. And as you can see, this is the default stuff because I didn't set up a name or anything like that with Git. That's perfectly fine. And you see it says here right at the bottom, it says, hey, initialize empty Git repository in /var/jenkins_home/git-repos/my-new-repo.git. And it says finished success. So this does exist. So that's a very simple build that, and you can do other things as well with Jenkins. Now, this is a very, 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 very tiny thing on the to show you what Jenkins is capable of doing. As I said before, you could also do something like you can grab something from an existing Git repository and you can build code from that. So what I'm getting at is that, let's say an application, like let's say Jenkins itself, I can get Jenkins from a remote repository. It doesn't have to be GitHub. From a remote repository or even a local one, and then I can set it to build Jenkins itself. You don't just, for example, I can use this to build my Android applications, right? So especially in the past where Google for some weird reason had, like, they were supporting several versions of Android. You have to build maybe for Android 7, 8, 9, or way back in the day. You guys remember this, Android 1, 2, 3, etc. Or specific ones. They make it a little bit easier now, but I'm saying you would have to build for multiple platforms. Another option is you could have a repository that maybe you build for 3 different systems. For example, maybe you build one for the desktop, one for iOS, one for Android, or maybe one for Linux, one for Mac OS, one for Windows, right? So that's what you can use Jenkins for that. But I said, personally, I use just my own build scripts when I'm doing that. But yeah, that's what Jenkins is for. So for example, maybe you work by yourself. You might have a Mac, and if you need to build something for Mac, you can get Jenkins to send it to your Mac and build it there and have the application ready here. Or you can have, I'm saying there's so many things you can do. Maybe send it to a Linux or send it to a cloud. Or here's a perfect example. Let's say you want to build a cross-platform. Maybe a cloud that you pay for, or a cloud service that you pay for that makes the builds for you. Because maybe you don't have a Mac, you don't have a Windows, or maybe you have Windows, you don't have Mac, you don't have Linux, and you don't want to set them up. So you could send it to the cloud. There's some cloud services that can do that for you. They have I can't mention them, but I don't know them on top of my head, but I think AWS Amazon has it. I'm sure the other platforms, there's like MacCloud, things like that. So you can send it there as well. Get it and save it somewhere here, or send it to another place, so you can create your own scripts or the build processes. So that's it. So that's what I wanted to show you about Jenkins. Nice and simple, and you saw how quickly it's set up, and the version is also down here, 2.5 to 8.1. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you guys. And as you can see, let's go back to the tutorial. You can see the screenshots here. Obviously the YAML file, when I was building it from scratch, you see it's pulling from docker.io. And then this one here, to unlock it, you guys saw me how I unlocked it, and I same thing, I chose the default, the recommended plugins. Create the first admin user. Use the same, this time I actually use localhost. You see it says HTTP. Yeah, and then as you can see here, welcome to Jenkins. Manage Jenkins, you guys saw that. I created a new item. You guys saw me how I created that, same thing. And then the console output, that's it. And to prove this is a live stream, I click here. This time I actually use localhost. You see it says HTTP. There we go. So there's a little delay. I don't know how many milliseconds that is. Okay, so let's finish this up. If you're looking to dive deeper into programming, I offer several programming books and online courses that help you advance your skills. For programming books, they're available on Amazon. I have a direct link there where you can explore my collection of books on programming. Hi Dinesh, how are you doing? Podman is an application that allows you to containerize applications usually that run on the web, for example like Jenkins. So instead of running Jenkins on your local machine where you might have conflict with dependencies, you can use Podman. Podman is a drop-in replacement for Docker. If you know what Docker is, that's the same thing as Podman. I also have online courses. They're available on jamboshop.com. You can check out my online courses for various programming topics. They are based on the same books I created on Amazon for programming. And I also offer one-on-one tutorials. If you want personalized guidance, I offer one-on-one programming tutorials at ojambo.com/contact. And if you need Jenkins or Git setup services, if you need help with setting up Git, Jenkins, or migrating repositories, you can feel free to reach out to me at ojamboservices.com. That's correct, Dinesh. Yes, Podman is literally just a drop-in replacement for Docker. The only difference is that Podman, you don't need to have the root permissions or super user permissions. You can run it as a regular user. So that makes it easy. For example, maybe on a shared server, or you don't, because the problem with Docker is set for some specific applications, it needs to run as root user. So that's very dangerous. And especially like if you're letting people, like other users use your server, that could be a potential problem. So that's why there's something like Podman, because Podman will just be for that specific user. They can run things without needing root permissions. So in conclusion, Jenkins is an essential tool for anyone involved in software development. Setting it up using Podman is a great way to get started, and with containerization and CI/CD workflows, whether you're working on a personal project or professional development pipelines. Jenkins will help you streamline your process. Feel free to check out my resources and courses to deepen your programming knowledge, or reach out if you need assistance with Jenkins or Git. Okay, without that said, a quick reminder, I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can simply go to jambo.com, you go to the watch menu, live summary, you can see topics for this and upcoming tutorials. You see all of them have a date and time. It's always Eastern time, 2 p.m. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. That helps the channel grow and helps other people find out, especially open source tools, just like this one I did today. Before I let you guys go, I want to let you know that I also have other recommended resources. I live in a rural area, so the service for internet and cellular is not very good. So I use SpaceX Starlink, the residential service. I do have a referral link. So what that means is that if you're thinking of getting SpaceX Starlink, if you use my referral link, I'll get 1 month free, and you guys also get a discount. The type of discount and the duration is based on your geographical area. But just if you're thinking of getting it, are getting it, use my referral link. It'll be a benefit for me and you as well. And I'm also, this month, I'm promoting my my novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent. So this one is also available on Amazon. It's available in paperback and ebook formats. You can see there my name, Eduardo Jambo. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind. So not only does he have to regain control of his mind, but he also has to regain control of the AI system. So as you can see, this is a psychological thriller. It's a real, see, this is the paperback version, as you can see there. And the ebook version is free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So be sure to check it out. I made it as affordable as possible. The vast majority, like about 95% or more of the cost goes to obviously stuff like creating the book and shipping and storage cost. So the reason I did that was because I wanted to get it out there so I can get feedback. So I want to improve myself as a writer, not just for programming books, but other things as well. All right, and also tonight I might do another night stream. It's not going to be an ongoing thing, but so if you guys want to ask me questions, the night streams are usually something, it's usually an AMA. If you don't know what that means ask me anything. It's more relaxed because I'm not in a rush to finish and then go outside. For example, like right now I'm in a rush to finish because I have to go outside, look after the chickens, and also finish up the shed build. So so that's why. But obviously at night it's more relaxed and I can spend lots of time. For example, just recently I did one night stream that was close to 4 hours, right? Obviously I can't do that during the day. So see you guys then, and make sure you do subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye now.